Good evening, Andy. Thank you for joining us after what's been a very difficult pill to swallow this afternoon. 7-0 reverse here at Barnet. You would say a team finished second last season in the Conference National League, obviously one of the favourites to go up, but we probably didn't expect to come here and get beaten quite as soundly as we have done today.
Well, I don't think you ever expect to get beat anyway that heavy. We know how strong they are, and we knew it's going to be a real tough challenge. But we were disappointed from our standards. Obviously, they were very, very good. It's not for me to speak about them. They're a good team. We knew that, but I felt we should have defended certainly a lot better than we did.
We struggled, if we're being honest about it, across the pitch, as you just alluded to, but particularly down our right and Barnet's left. They got an awful lot of joy today. Is that something that we really feel we need to work on?
I don't think I want to look at it again before I make rash statements about where we need to work on, because collectively we just said in there it's not the time to talk about how bad it was, because we know it was bad. For me, it's a case of brushing yourselves down, cooling down as a group, getting back on the bus, and I'll look at it over the next couple of days, me and the coaching staff, and see how we can improve, because we know it's going to be tough this year, and today just absolutely made that as clear as we knew it was going to be.
You've already said this in previous games, and we've seen it, that the step up in quality means that there's sharper in thought, fitness levels are better. Teams that we're coming up against, particularly when we're away from home, just seem to be on it that little bit sharper than we are. And is that something that we are going to adjust to as we go through the season?
Well, that's something we're not going to be full time, and teams like Barnet are full time, so they should be fitter, they should be sharper, they should have better game plans, and that's what it was today, 100%. But I'm not using that as an excuse, because I think collectively, individually, we can be better as a group, and we can make better decisions on the pitch, and we can win our battles better, we can track runners better, and we can just improve in general. Yes, we're never going to match certain standards that the clubs have got, because, like I said, they are full time. We're never going to be full time. We knew that. That's not an excuse, because we've proved we can match teams a lot better than we did today. So, like I said, we'll look at the footage and see how we can be better for the next game. It's a learning curve. This was never somewhere you come down and expect to get loads of points. When you look at the points you need to be where you want to be, anything you get on these sort of games is a bonus. Like I said, to get beat 7-0, not good, not a nice feeling, and I've said that in there. We don't want this feeling again, so we need to learn from it and adjust accordingly. Like, you know me long enough, I don't ever go overboard when we have good results, and equally I'm not going to go the same when we've got well beaten, which we have been. But again, some good players in that team who play particularly well.
We've actually had an interview which has not gone up onto YouTube yet, so fans wouldn't have had a chance to see it, but we did discuss things like expectancy levels within that interview, didn't we? And I think maybe sometimes certain fans are obviously going to criticise, and rightly so in their opinion, but it is about managing expectations, isn't it, Andy? Like you said, coming here, you're not expecting to get the win, but equally fans don't want to see us getting beaten like that either.
No one wants to see you get beat like that, do you? Like you said, we've had 6 games now at this level. I think we've been in 5 of them until the last 5 or 10 minutes, even at York, although it was 2-0, we were within touching distance. We're still in the game. Today we was out of it within, 15, 20 minutes, we were out of the game really. Then it's a case of, can we be resilient? Can we limit it? Can we try and nick a goal gap? Can we win the second half? But we couldn't do any of that today. Again, against a good team. And us, I think, as a group, when you're struggling like that, you know it's going to be tough second half, and you know it's damage limitations. But I still felt we could have done better than we did. That's the thing for me. It's about pride. For me, if you're losing 3 or 4, you don't get beat 5, 6, 7. You have a bit of pride and try and get something out of it. If you can't score, you don't concede again. But we're learning. Like I said, we've had 2 fantastic seasons and we've bossed a lot of games. This is going to be very, very different. So it hasn't massively surprised me today. Obviously, the result has, but I know what we're up against. I know how good these teams are. I know how much time they take watching what we do and planning how they can do what they've done today.
It's interesting that you actually led yourself into that path of conversation there, because that's where I was going to go with it. It's very easy to get down at moments like this, isn't it, where we've had an absolute thrashing today, and there will be more, I'm sure, throughout the season. But ultimately, Andy, it's very important to remember where we've come from in the last couple of seasons. What a fantastic journey that you've taken the team on.
Yeah, I know that's done though for me now. We've got to adjust to this league, the sooner the better. And we've found today that if you're not quite at it and you've got players not matching the opposition, that's what teams can do. They're clinical. The chance they have. The other thing is, we had some chances today and didn't take them, certainly early on. That's just as important. Like I said, we're never going to win 8-7, but if you score one of your early chances, it makes the game slightly different, because it puts a bit of doubt perhaps in their head. But I think for us it's about regrouping. For them, it's like credit to them. You've got to take your hats off to a team that played as well as they did. Maybe we made it too easy at times, but certainly the finishing was very, very good. Like I said, it's a massive club that needs to get back in the league. Their remit is to get out of the league. More remit is probably to stay in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. again, let me down the path of leading on towards the next game now, really, and Eastleigh away next Saturday. Is it really a case of lick the wounds, let's just deal with this emotionally, then have 2 good training sessions positive, go into that one, hopefully with an improved performance?
Yeah, well, it needs to be more improved, because if we play like today, it'll be the same. That's a fact, because again, they've got loads of good players there right at the top. We know that every week is the same. We have to be right on it, and if you get players not quite at it, and we weren't today, some of them by their own admissions, that's what can happen. Next week's another massive test. Again, we're going away from home. We've got to be more resilient. We've got to show a bit more confidence on the ball going forward. We've just got to improve, like I said, throughout the whole group, and that includes, everything. The club as a general, as in management, players, staff. The whole lot. We're in it together. I've said that, we win together, we lose together. This is when we take on the chin. Yes, it hurts, but we'll train, like you said, Tuesday, Thursday, and we'll get as much footage as we can on Eastleigh. I'll speak to a lot of people about them, and we'll go there and give ourselves the best chance we can, as we always do.
Okay, Andy, all that remains for me to say is thank you very much for your time in testing circumstances. Thank you, and we'll speak to you next week.
No problem, thank you.